Hello, babies! This is Marcella Vito, and today I'm going to be talking about Jesus! Yes! And before you start the video, I'm not going to be really preaching so much. I'm going to talk about how becoming a Christian has personally changed me. Because, believe it or not, I wasn't always a Christian. Not really. I always did believe in God. I've always believed in Jesus. However, I never truly tried to live a Christian lifestyle until just recently. And the changes I've made, the changes that of how people acted towards me, how they approached me, was a complete 180. See, way back in the day, back when I was in my teens, I was trashy, alright? And I was disgusting in how I spoke. Everything I said, it was a sex reference, or it was a hate speech, or I was so vulgar that I've just disgusted almost everyone who has approached me. And looking back at it now, I'm really truly ashamed of who I was. And for me to be embarrassed about something, it takes a lot, because I am one of the most relaxed people, and almost every single one of my friends agreed on this. I am by far one of the most relaxed people to talk to about anything. And no matter what they say, no matter what shenanigans or raunchy jokes they come up with, they always try to make me blush. I always laugh because I love them so much, and they're goofy. My own family of goofy goobbles. But for something to actually make me blush out of just embarrassment, that takes a lot. And I actually, thinking about it now, I am such an embarrassment. I was an embarrassment to myself. Back before I was trying to live a Christian lifestyle, I was extremely vulgar. I was extremely sexual. I was a drug addict. I was an extreme alcoholic. I did so much wrong on other people, and I enjoyed when so much hard was done to other people. And I was such an evil person, and I didn't even realize it until recently. But I actually was so dumb to assume that just because I claimed to love God, just because I claimed to believe in Jesus, I was going to be saved. No, I wasn't. Believe it or not, actions are so important to Christian community, or any community. It's not enough to say, hey, I'm a Christian. If a person does not live the lifestyle of a Christian, if they do not live by Bible principle, meaning they are not allowed to lie, they are not allowed to cheat, they are not allowed to bear false witness, They are not allowed to wish ill upon other people. They are not allowed to hate anybody. They, believe it or not, to be a Christian, you have to be a total badass, because it is so difficult. Out of everything I've ever done in my life, to be a Christian is by far the most difficult thing I'm walking to accomplish. People who are non-Christians have no idea the struggle it is to be a devout Christian. I'll give you an example. I have lost friends because they asked me for my honest opinion and they don't like it. I've lost people I loved because my love for God is greater than me wanting to please them in ways I could not. Me and my ex, we fought about premarital sex, and I told him, you know what, I want to give it up because it's not right. It really isn't. We had a fight about that. It was during the time I was doing my best, my absolute best, to try to be a good Christian. I ended up losing an ex-boyfriend. And it was painful at first, but now I realized that he was poison. He was a poisonous man in my life. And I loved him so much, but at the same time, it's because I chose my love for God over my love of having him in my life. It kind of showed me, because he wanted everything his way all the time. He wanted sex. He wanted to add people in the relationship. He was so caught up in anger and lies and rumors and gossip. And the Bible, every single one of those things, the Bible tells us to turn away from. I am not allowed to lie, guys. Even when it cost me a relationship, with which it did. I am not allowed to have premarital sex anymore, which I was never supposed to, but now I'm sticking my foot on this one. I will not have sex again until after I'm married. I'm not allowed to have any more sexual relationships with women. And I am so sorry, ladies, because I really did care about a few of you. I can't say all of you, because a few of you did break my heart, so. I love you. I do. I pray for you. Please go to Jesus. But, anyway. See, all these things, lying, stealing, the gossip, the BS, I am not allowed to do, and it's so hard because it's so tempting to do it. Having casual sex was one of my greatest sins. I loved it. But since I turned away from it, believe it or not, I'm really happy. When I quit lying, it was really hard at first because I knew I was going to hurt people's feelings. It cost me friendships. It cost me relationships with family. And it's so painful to lose people I love because I was honest with them in the first place. But but it had to be done. And I'm always going to pray for these people. I'm always going to pray that my loved ones, the people I love, will drop their pride along with me, because that was another sin. I was so packed with pride that any piece of wisdom that people was trying to give to me, I flipped out about. Because I understand that nobody likes to be told that what they do is wrong. And everything I did back when I was a teenager up until just a few months ago, I even have slip-ups now. What I did was wrong. All the pain that I've caused others, all the pain I've caused myself. And ever since I tried to live a Christian lifestyle, I quit the drugs completely. It's gone. I do not give up drinking. I give up on getting drunk. If I do drink now, I'll have a glass of wine every couple weeks. I'll have one glass of wine, maybe two if I feel daring, but I will not get blackout drunk anymore. I will not have sex anymore, which is such a good thing, because how I managed to bypass all of the STDs that do exist, and there's over 20 of them, believe it or not, how I managed to bypass all of them and pregnancy, that is God. That is a miracle of God and nothing less. But now I no longer have that fear of getting sick, or I no longer have a fear of bringing a beautiful child on this earth with no proper foundation to care for them. See, ever since I began to really try to live for Jesus, I have so much peace in my life. Now, I am so happy in the most bizarre ways. I'm so grateful for the smallest thing. I never shared so much love in my life, and never in my life have I received so much love in return. So people can question me, oh, you're a Christian, that means you're boring, and you're not a badass. Trust me, you have to have the willpower of steel. You have to be so strong to fight the urges, to hate, to backlash, and to go after cheap pleasure. That is a lot of willpower that a Christian has to have. Because I'll tell you one thing, I was violent, extremely violent, before I became a Christian. And you know, ever since I started going to church, I start talking to the council, the pastors. Ever since I actually sought wisdom to better my life, because back then I was so unhappy. I was on the verge of suicide. My very very first attempt at suicide, I was 4 years old. I was always angry and full of so much hatred, but going to the church, being around so many positive people who love for the sake of loving, who's nice for the sake to be nice, I cannot believe how stupid I was for so long that I never became a Christian sooner. You know, I'll tell you one thing. I never want to be anything less than what I am now. I never want to commit a sin again. And even though I know I will, because, we admit that we're not perfect. What we do admit is we need God in our life because we're not perfect. And you know what? I'm not perfect, but I'm trying to be a better person for the sake of being a better person, because I love God. If I didn't love God, if I didn't actually learn what the Bible says, I would still be that angry, suicidal, raging, trashy woman that I used to be. And some people disagree with me. Some people think that they can have pure happiness without God, and you know what? God's the reason why I have happiness in the first place. So, I'm sorry this video isn't as humorous as I normally try to make it, but I felt in my heart that this needed to be said. This is really important, and it had to be logged because Jesus is that important to me. So, that is it for now. Until next time.